Hello. Good morning, y'all. This was a last minute decision to get on here and blab. I wasn't going to do it. I was actually going to get straight to work. But Spirit told me to get on here and run my mouth. So I'm going to listen to it. I don't know why. I don't know what we're going to talk about this morning, but anyway. What's up, y'all? Waking up kind of slow. Got home late last night. Real late. We went out last minute for my birthday and saw Tim Allen. Went out and saw Tim Allen do a stand-up show. And that started at like, oh shit, 10:30. Went to 11:30. I'm never out that late, man. I'm never out that late. And then we stayed and threw a few dollars in some slot machines and whatnot. And I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit. Can't stand it, but I stayed and did it anyway. Leah loves it. She loves the casino vibe. She loves playing blackjack, and I fucking hate it. Ugh, I fucking hate it. If any of you ever see me walking around in a casino down in Vegas, and I got this like scowl on my face, it's because I don't want to be there. I hate it downtown, man. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate it down there. But I always feel like the universe is dragging me down there on purpose. I'm like, okay, this is the shitty part about being a light worker. You know what I mean? That's the shitty part about it. My fellow light workers know what I'm talking about, right? So anyway, man, we didn't get home until like after 1 a.m., man. Oh, that's why I'm waking up so slow this morning. That's why I'm waking up so slow. I don't normally stay out that late. Not normally my thing. So anyway, I'm looking at my workload for today. Oh, it was a pretty light day today. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I only got 3. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome. That means I can get more on my main channel done. Anyway, what y'all up to? Oops, sorry. I gotta put the cards away. I can't do that when I'm anyway. I'll sit here just by myself, just by myself and sit here and flip cards for the hell of it. I don't want to tease y'all. Everybody's like, pull a card. No, I'm not pulling cards right now. Anyway, what y'all up to, man? Yeah, I hate gambling, man. I don't like it. I mean, I just don't like it. I think it's pointless. And that's kind of weird because I do have such an addictive personality. I do. You would think. But I just think it's stupid. I think gambling is so stupid. I'll do it every now and then. When we'll go downtown or whatever. And for the most part, though, I try to, if you've never been to Vegas, I can't think of really anything you can do where you don't have to walk through a maze of casinos everywhere. There's casinos everywhere here in Vegas. The gas stations have a little casino with slot machines on the inside. Everything is a fucking casino. Everything. I mean, there's casinos in the restaurants. There's casinos in the gas stations. Everywhere. So I fucking hate it. I think it's so stupid. It's so dumb. I'm that type that if I sit down and I put like, I don't know, a little $20, $40 in a slot machine, if I hit, and it pops off and I win like 100, 200 bucks, I cash out and I'm ready to go. I'm like, cool, check it out. I just won 200 bucks. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I'm done. And everybody else is like, no, let's stay and keep playing. No, I want to take this and leave. I'm good now. I'm that type. I wish I was like that with everything else. You know what I mean? If I was like that with alcohol, I've had 4 beers. I got me a good little buzz and I'm done drinking. Oh no. Oh shit, 4 beers. That's just a dick tease, man. I don't even do it. I need at least like fucking 12 just to start the night. But no, gambling's never done it for me, man. As much of an addictive personality as I have, gambling's never done it for me. And I can afford to. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I'm not hurting for money. So it ain't got nothing to do with wasting money. I just think it's so stupid. So stupid. Maybe that's probably the reason why. I don't get addicted to it easily, is because I'm not hurting and desperate for money. I don't care about money. And I think in order to get drawn into that, well, of course, Leah's not really either. She just likes playing games. You know, she's not real big on the slot machine. She likes the blackjack tables. She just likes playing card games, you know. But I think I may be wrong on this, but it kind of seems to me like most of the people who get addicted to and hooked on gambling are people who are real desperate for money, you know, real desperate, desperate, desperate for money. And I'm just not. I don't care about money. It doesn't mean anything to me. So I just think it's stupid to sit and push a button, push a button, and I just think it's stupid. Stupid. Can't stand it. anyway, yeah, appreciate y'all. It was a pretty good birthday, man. Pretty good. Well, for those of you just now tuning in, I was saying a couple minutes ago that last minute I came home. We went out to eat at the California Pizza Kitchen and came home. Well, we went around town square, walked around town square for a little bit, and just went through a few shops, ate a little bit of food, and came home. And I crashed out and took a nap. And then because I do. Oh, okay. So you remember how that all those readings I showed you yesterday that I had? As soon as I got off here, I went straight. I busted them all out, back to 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 back, because I wanted them done. I was like, I want this day free. I don't normally do it like that. Normally, I'll do like 2 or 3, and then step back and take a break for a half hour, 45 minutes, and then sit back down to 2 or 3 more, and step back and take a break. You know, and I'll stretch it out throughout the whole day. I was like, no, I want to get all my fucking work done. So as soon as I got off here, I grabbed that stack of papers and I sat down and bam, 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 knocked all 10 of them out back to back. So I was drained. By the time we went out to eat, I was like, that was about, let's see, it took me, the time I get off, let's see, it was about 4 hours. Sit down for about 4 hours straight and fucking knocked them all out. But anyway, I came home and I crashed out and took a nap. And then she woke me up and said, "You want to go see Tim Allen?" I was like, "Sure." That's kind of random. And it was pretty cool, man. He's actually a funny ass dude. It was pretty cool. Anyway, though. Yeah, it was a pretty good birthday, man. Pretty good old birthday. I'm the type, man, I don't give 2 shits about birthdays. To me, that's another thing I think is stupid. I think it's dumb. I would much prefer, I wanted to try to figure out how to turn that off on Facebook. You know what I mean? Everybody, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And you know, where people on Facebook post it on their timeline, I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. But it's not that I don't appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But it's just, to me, the whole concept of birthdays is kind of dumb, I think. But Leah loves it. I want to do this for your birthday. And what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, nothing. I don't want to do anything. I don't care. It's just a regular day for me. I'll forget it's even coming up until like maybe 5 days, like the 1st or 2nd day of February. And then I'll look at the calendar and be like, oh shit. Oh yeah, I got a birthday coming up. Oh, whoa, that happened quick. You know? But over the past couple years, especially with Leah, she's been making birthdays much more fun, you know? Usually what I'd be doing, working. Let's see. I can count every single birthday. Let's see. My 25th birthday, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and my 30th. 6 birthdays in a row. I worked like 12, like a 12-hour shift. Like a 12-hour shift at work. You know, I was always working. I didn't take off. I didn't announce that it was my birthday. I don't really care if anybody knew. I always for the past, like before obviously I picked up my career on the internet, but you know, and then after that, I still didn't really do much. But over the past couple of years, man, Leah's been making them pretty cool. Yeah, I do have my profile on Facebook private. I do have that now. And I tell you the reason why. I'm not like a private person like that, you know, because to me, I just always thought that's kind of stupid. It's like, well, if you're that concerned about certain people knowing your business, just don't fucking put it on the internet, you know? I know I may seem very, very, very open, and I am a pretty open, candid person. But if I don't want y'all to know something, you ain't gonna know it. Straight up. If there's something I don't want on the internet, I'm just not gonna put it on there. You know? So you know what I want you to know about me. Let's just put it that way, you know? And there's a lot of people out there that think they know me real well, but you know what I let you know. What gets on my nerves, this is what get on my nerves, is somebody would look up my public profile, not my page. They would go to my public profile and start liking all my posts. Like, go through and like 100, 200 posts in a row just to try to get my attention and block them. I keep seeing it, bing, bing, bing. The notifications light up, bing, bing, and it's just the same person going through like, 100, 200, 300, trying to get my attention, and I block them. I just got tired of that shit. So I set it to private. You know, that's one thing I can't. I'm not used to that yet. Still. So I got tired of that shit happening. So I was like, man, you know what? Fuck it. I got this page. I have a page. If you want to go follow me, you can go follow that page. So that's the reason why but I couldn't figure out how to make the birthday thing not show up on there. No, you know what I think it is? I think you take your birth date off of Facebook. That might do it. I should have thought about that. Anyway, though. Yeah. Take your birth date. That's right. I couldn't think of it yesterday. I was like, man, how do I take this off? You know, but anyway, it's not that big a deal. I just feel obligated to say thank you. You know, I don't care if you wish me happy birthday or not. I'm really not that type of person. It doesn't matter to me. But I feel like that if you do that, I'm obligated to tell you thank you. You know, but anyway, thank you for the birthday wishes. Anyway, though, no, it was cool, though, man. It was cool. It was pretty cool. And now my daughter's birthday is tomorrow. That was what I considered to be my 23rd birthday present. The universe was like, all right, young man, I know you're addicted to sex and drugs and you have no fucking ambitions or goals in life or not even a fucking clue where you're going. All right, perfect. Here's a little human. Here you go. You're responsible for this little human. The fuck? That was my 23rd birthday present. It was a little mini human. Here, you're responsible for this little mini human, you know? Oh, so that's my oldest daughter. She'll be 11 tomorrow. Nevaeh, my oldest daughter, Nevaeh. She'll be 11 tomorrow. So she's looking forward to that. And I am too. I do still have this thing in me where I want to be able to like give my kids an upbringing like what I had, you know? Because I was taken away from my real parents when I was like 2 due to like abuse. Me and my sister were like abused. And we got taken away from our parents. And I was raised by my mom's parents, my grandparents on my mom's side. And my grandparents, to rewind all the way back to the 50s, they grew up real dirt ass fucking poor. And like my grandma grew up in a house that had dirt floors. They didn't have floors in her house. Like that's how dirt poor they grew up. So my grandparents got together, had their first kid and got married when they were 16. Had their first kid and got married when they were fucking 16. And anyway, they went to college and they got them good careers and whatnot. And by the time all their kids had grown up and were out of the house, then all of a sudden they get custody of me and my sister when they were in their late 40s, you know. And by that time, they were making pretty decent living for the 90s, you know, middle class. My grandma was a nurse and my grandpa was a chemical engineer. And they had pretty decent careers. So I grew up with a pretty decent childhood, you know, kind of crazy because I grew up like kind of a 9, 10 of Pentacles type life. And I guess kind of a 10 of Cup type life too. Kind of, sort of. We did do the family thing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my mom's side of the family we would all do the birthday thing. You know, we would all gather for like, and all my cousins and whatnot. We would all gather and celebrate birthday parties for the kids, and we would come together on holidays like Christmas and whatnot. And I had, just the normalcy when I was a kid up until I turned a teenager, and then that's when all that kind of started fading away. My family started falling apart when I was a teenager. But I like to be able to provide my kids with a life like I had growing up. That was always like my biggest, for the longest time. I felt like I was just the biggest piece of shit and so ashamed of myself because I couldn't provide anything for my kids. You know what I mean? And I'd honestly, at one point in time, given up, threw my hands in the air and said, all right, then I'm a deadbeat piece of shit. Okay, cool. That's just what it is then. That's what it is. And I accepted it and I was cool with it. Okay. I'm probably going to have to wait till my kids are teenagers, just like I did before I met my dad. I met my dad when I was 16 and had to learn and observe and watch him and learn the truth myself, get his side of the story, and I had to learn all that for myself, when I was like, that's probably what it's going to be for my kids. I probably won't see them again until they're teenagers, and they're probably going to be real confused as to what happened, and I'm going to have to, and I remember preparing myself for, okay, I got to prepare myself to tell the kids the truth, whenever I meet them one of these days. Not the truth that I want them to hear, but the truth. The truth. I'm not going to be one-sided. I'm not going to try to make myself look innocent and make their mom look like a bad person. I'm not going to play that fucking game. I'm going to have to tell them. And I'd given up. I was like, okay, I'm just not going to be able to be that type of father to my kids. And it's like, no sooner than the year that I said that to myself. Okay, universe, it's out of my control. So I guess this is your plan. I'm done trying. I'm done fighting it. I don't have any fight left in me. Just do whatever you want, universe. If this is the way you want it to go, then okay. I don't have any fight left in me. I'm done. And that's when, everything started lining up so that I could have the kids back in my life now. And now I'm actually able. That's like the number one driving force to everything that I do with my career, to be 100% honest with you. To be all the way real and 100% candid with you. I don't really mention this too much, but that's like the number one driving force that I have to be as successful as I am, is to be the man my grandfather wanted to raise me to be, in order to be the father that he wanted to raise a man. You know what I mean? His version of a man. He wanted to raise a respectable, successful young man who could take care of his kids like a man, and provide for his family like a man. And the fact that he went to his deathbed highly fucking ashamed of me ate me alive for years. Ate me alive. Fucking ate me up from the inside. That when he died, he was that ashamed of me. So it's been like eating me up for years and years and years that he didn't ever get the chance to see me be the man that he wanted to see me become, and be able to see that he actually did a real good job, So that being able to be that type of father for my kids, is the number one driving force for me to have wanted to become successful, be able to make a good living. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm opening up and I'm sharing a perspective that I don't bring to the public very often. I don't really bring that to the public. That's probably the first time that I really expressed that, honestly. It's probably really the first time that I've actually genuinely been that open about my personal life. Like I said, you all only know what I allow you to know. So anyway, didn't really have a solid landing point with that, but yeah, that's what it is on my end, man, for real. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know the feeling. Yep, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Oh, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, man. So, anyway, what are y'all up to, man? Yeah, yes. I was saying that. Matter of fact, me and Coach Drew were talking about that the other day, turning pain into fuel. And that is like the latest chapters in my life have been trying to find fuel now, because looking back, when you start off at the bottom of the mountain, when you start off at rock bottom, you may not realize this at the time, but when you're at rock bottom, dude, you have such a fucking advantage. You can use all that adversity, all the things that have been working against you and all the people who've been trying to hold you down and all the haters talking shit and all that stuff. Dude, that is the best fucking fuel for motivation. The best fucking fuel. All that pain and all that adversity is the best fuel for motivation for success. Once you get to the top of the mountain and all that shit goes away and you really don't have any more adversity, you'll realize that now in order to keep yourself going, you have to self-motivate. That's hard. That's hard. That's tough. That's tough. That's why a lot of successful athletes get to the pinnacle of their career and then they retire and then they disappear for a few years. Then you see them again. They done got all fat. They done got all fat, You see it happen a lot, man. And I can see that really started to happen to me. I'm not saying that I'm nowhere near as successful as some of these big famous athletes and whatnot, but still, it's all relative. It's all relative. Whatever your goals are, whatever size mountain it is that you're wanting to climb, when you reach the top of that motherfucker, you realize you don't want to just sit there and chill. That's not the point. It's not the point at all. So once you use all that pain and all that adversity, and you fuel yourself and you really, really start getting a taste of making progress, then you'll find yourself needing to self-motivate. I don't really have any adversity. I really don't. I mean, so it's hard. It's like, what's keeping me going then? What's my incentive to keep going? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And see, I don't really think that right there gets near the coverage, and as far as it's not that popular as far as law of attraction teachings and whatnot, because most law of attraction teachings, most of them, not all of them, but most law of attraction teachings are geared towards helping people who are at the bottom start making their way up, but then there's not nearly as many. There are a few. I'm not saying that there's none of them out there. There are a few, but there are very few people who teach people who climbed a mountain and then fell off, and then trying to teach people how to climb back up the mountain, or climb the mountain and then got bored and stuck at the top of the mountain. That doesn't get near the coverage. There's not nearly as many people talking about that. But it's a very, very, I have heard a few gurus and teachers on my journey talking about, well, what are you going to do when you get to the top of the mountain? I'm like, and me, of course, what most of us who start out at the bottom think, what do you mean? What do you mean? What am I going to do? I'm going to get to the top of the mountain and I'm going to sit and chill like a boss. That's not what you're going to want to do. Oh, no, it's not. That's not what you're going to want to do. When you get to the top of that mountain, you're going to get real fucking bored real quick. Real fucking bored real quick. Matter of fact, in a way, depending on your perspective, it may actually get worse. It may actually get worse. It may actually drive you even crazier than you were before you started climbing the mountain, I have seen that happen to people, and I have felt where I could have gone down that path. I think I got close to it. You see a lot of people. Matter of fact, I did a reading. I did a tarot card reading for somebody who's best friends with a pretty well-known celebrity. I'm not going to say their name, but it was kind of like a celebrity relationship, but it wasn't the actual celebrity I was reading for. It was their best friend. And they were saying, yo, he's, I don't remember what we were even reading about, but he lives in fear of losing everything, and you hear about that happening a lot. People will get real successful. Then all of a sudden, now they're living in fear of losing their success. You know what I mean? What's the point? What's the point of even climbing that mountain if you're just going to sit at the mountain fucking terrified that you're going to fall off the mountain? Now you got a whole new grip of fear clutching you. Now you're afraid you're going to lose everything. Why? The universe is only going to do that if it needs to be done. That's the only reason that would happen. I'm not afraid of that happening. That doesn't mean I don't think it's going to happen. What it means is if the universe, because on my journey, I've developed such a relationship with the universe that I trust the universe doesn't do anything for no reason, nothing. So if the universe decides that I need to lose everything again, I know that there will be a bigger reason behind why that happens. So if it happens, it happens. If it happens and it's out of my control and there's nothing that I can do about it, I know that the universe is doing it for a specific reason and that there's a bigger picture involved. Does that make sense? Hang on, I'm gonna turn my heater up. Anywho, no solid landing point. You know what I mean, though? Yeah, more money, more problems. It's real, though. I mean, it really depends. I don't know, man. Yes, that is very possible to create more problems for yourself the more money that you get. But it also depends on how you perceive problems, Depends on how you perceive problems. Worrying about anything is a choice. It's a choice, Whatever you choose to worry about, I don't care what it is that you're worried about. When you worry, what you're doing is you're choosing to take your mind and use it to draw a picture of the worst case scenario and keep repeating it over and over and over and over and over in your head. That's what worrying is. That's what worrying is. It's all worrying is. I'm using my creative powers to just paint a picture of the worst case scenario and start rolling it through in my head and living it as if it's real when it's not. I've been spending the majority of my adult life learning how to stop doing that, regardless of what's going on out here. I don't care what's happening out here, so with more money, more problems. Yeah, in one sense, but in another sense, depends on what you mean by problems. It depends on how you react to those problems. It's all in here, man. It's all in here. It's all in here. I think that if anything, the past few years, 2 or 3 years, even leading up to the big shift of events that have happened over the past 2 years, the past 2, 3, 4 years, the most important thing that any of us could learn how to do, any of us, I don't care who you are, don't care where you're from, most important thing that any of us could learn how to do is go inside ourselves and take conscious control of the things that happen in here. Conscious control of it. The entire third dimension was built and operates on you not having control of what happens in here in your own mind. You don't even have control. Think about how fucking crazy that sounds, dude. Think about how crazy that sounds that your average person out there has no control over what their mind is doing. Their mind just wanders off and does whatever it wants without them having conscious control of it, Think about how crazy. Doesn't that just sound nuts? Taking control of your own mind is the most important thing anybody can learn how to do. That is at the end of the day, that's the law of attraction for you right there. That's all you really need to know how to do in order to get it to work for you. That's all you really need to know how to do is take conscious control of your own mind. Take conscious control of your own mind, pay attention to what it's doing, be able to direct your mind and be able to place your focus or remove your focus on your command, to be able to think about something or stop thinking about something because you said so, to be the entity behind the virtual reality mask, taking control of what this thing does. Now, I'm not in any way claiming to be like an expert, but I can tell you that I've been dedicating my life to taking control of my own mind. Am I where I would like to be? No, I'm not as far along as I'd like to be. I'm a lot more further along than I used to be, you know? And I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. How many of you out there, come on, don't lie. How many of you out there would love to be able to flip a switch and be happy? How many of you out there would love that? To be able to flip a switch and be happy? Now, I know that when I say something like that, there's probably a few different types of reactions. You know, one type of person probably says, hell yeah, I would love that. Flip a switch and be happy? Yeah. But then there's probably some of you, I'm not sure how many, who haven't even thought about that. No, I don't want to flip a switch to be happy. All I need is money, or all I need is a relationship or somebody to love me. That's what I want. That will make me happy. No, it won't. 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 It'll provide us with a little brief pleasure response. Little brief pleasure response. That's another thing that the third dimension was built on. Okay? Turning the light off in here and creating a big dark void in our hearts. Flip the light and turn it off. Big dark void in our hearts. And leading us so far away from that light and brainwashing us and manipulating us into believing that we need to indulge in pleasure. And that's what creates the happiness. That's the only form of happiness. It's the only form of happiness some people know is pleasure. You know, the pleasure response. Sex, a high on drugs, alcohol, more money, you know. And the thing about that is that provides a brief little pleasure response. It's kind of like eating sweets. You know what I mean? Eating sweets. If any of y'all are like sweet eaters, you know what it's like. A chocolate chip cookie. Eat that. Bam! Bursting that pleasure response. You know, like an Oreo cookie and some chocolate milk or something like that. If you have a sweet tooth. If not, you probably. But you know what I mean? Boom! The pleasure response explodes in your brain. And then it's over. Then it's done. It's over. I want to do that again. And you eat another one. Boom, but it's a little bit weaker this time. It's not quite as strong as it was the first time. And then the pleasure response gets more and more dull and weaker and more dull and weaker. But you understand the point that I'm making, right? That's the devil card. That's the devil card energy right there. Well, that's what the entire third dimension was built on. That's the only form of happiness. Some people out there, most people, it's the only form of happiness they know. Only form of happiness they know. Only form. Because this system, the educational system, the whole damn system we were born and brought up into is geared to have your light switch turned off when you're a little kid. By the time you're 8, 9, 10 years old, bam, the light's off. The light is off. And you are searching from that point forward. You're searching for something to turn the light on, something to provide that pleasure response, something. Candy, a new toy, you know, the light's off. It's dark in there. You're a little kid. It has your light switch turned off when you're a little kid. So that's the only form of happiness most people on this planet have ever fucking known. Ever. Except for when they were a little kid. I don't even know if they even remember what that felt like to be a little kid and just be happy for no reason. Well, that's what we got to find again. We got to go in there and we got to feel around for that light switch, man. It's in there. It's in there. It can be hard to find sometimes. It can be real hard to find. But I promise you, it's in there. If somebody like me can find it, if I can find it, dude, I've been institutionalized for suicide attempts. I was revived from death from my first suicide attempt and institutionalized the second time. I know a thing or two about darkness. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know just a little bit about darkness. It's in there. That's what we got to learn how to do. That's the most important thing any of us could be working towards, is finding that happiness switch in here. Happiness comes from you, not to you. But it's such a foreign concept. It's such a foreign concept because we Again, the third dimension has been running this way for decades, centuries. You know, most people couldn't even begin to wrap their mind around that because that's all they've ever known. That's all their parents have ever known. That's all their grandparents have ever known. That's all their great grandparents have ever known. Is to look out here and find things that trigger a pleasure response and live your whole life doing that. And that's the only happiness you ever know. We got to get out of that, man. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. How many of you would love to be able to just flip a switch? Hell yeah, I'm happy. I'm feeling good. I'm motivated. I'm pumped up. I'm excited for no fucking reason. No reason. No reason. I don't even have any money in the bank, but I'm happy as fuck. You know, nobody loves me, but I'm happy as fuck. Just for the hell of it. Just because that's what's happening in here. It doesn't matter what's happening out here. Don't give a shit what's going on out here. I'm just happy in here. That's what we got to be working towards. That is what will take you from the rock bottom trenches of 3D all the way up through 4D and into 5D. Working on that. It really is that simple. It really, genuinely, honestly is that simple. But just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's not a daunting task. You know, it is very difficult. Very, very difficult because those of us who are here to assist in this process, when I say assist in the process, that's essentially what I'm talking about. Light workers, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Well, we're doing it all. But as far as what I can explain in English, that's what we're doing here. We are getting rid of a system. We're dismantling a system that turns your light off when you're a little kid and gets you addicted to pleasure. Turning that off, and we're ushering in a system where your light never gets turned off. You don't turn the light off. That's what the prison children do. You know, most prison children, unless they're like seriously fucked with like very badly, they got that light switch on, man. You know what I mean? Makes sense. That's what we're here doing, man. That's what we're here doing. Anyway, yeah, nothing can make you happy. Nothing, no thing can make you happy, you know? And that's the crazy part too. Because you have to think about it. This is why it's so hard for some people to find the light switch. Because if my light switch got flipped off when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, and the only form of happiness I've ever known is the pleasure response, how do I know what I'm looking for? How do I know what to even, I got to have some kind of picture in my mind of what real, true happiness feels like, because all I've ever known, the last time I was actually happy was when I was 4 years old. I don't remember what that felt like. I don't remember what it actually felt like to be like genuinely happy for no good fucking reason. I don't remember what that felt like, you know? So that's tough. There's a lot of people out there, myself included, for many, many years, could not quite figure out, like, what does that even feel like? How the fuck can you be happy, broke, no money, you know, no car, how do you be happy like that? It's tough. It's tough, man. But that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. To put it to you like this, if money bought happiness, there would be no such thing as an angry rich person. No such thing. No such thing. And I very much was one of those people who bought into the lie that money will make you happy. I'll be the first to admit, I thought that it would. And I'll never forget one of the last day jobs that I had, one of the last ones, not the last one. It was when I was working at the car wash, but I would have to say the last like steady day job that I had before that. I was working a job where I had to go to people's properties and like build tents and shit. And now I remember we went to this big rich person's property. you know, where they had all this land, big old house, bunch of little houses and shit like that. And it just rich people, you know, and they were so miserable and angry and pissed off. And I was so confused. I'm like, what? I remember just like staring at them in awe, like, how the fuck can you be that angry? How the fuck can you be that miserable? You know, how can you be that pissed off? I was confused. Caused some cognitive dissonance in my mind. I was like, how? I couldn't wrap my mind around how you could be that filthy rich and have that much shit and still be angry, miserable, and happy. It didn't register to me, you know? Didn't register to me. I'll be the first one to admit it. And I thought that, man. I seriously thought that happiness was created out here. I thought that the reason I was unhappy was because I was broke, or the reason why I was unhappy was because I couldn't find a stable relationship. I didn't know that the reason I was broke, the reason I couldn't hold a stable, successful relationship was because I was an unhappy person and I was manifesting that shit for myself. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that that's how it worked. It's the other way around. The other way around, and we are programmed backwards. We're programmed to think and view things completely and totally backwards from what they are. You know, all of us, me too. I'm no fucking different. I bought into all the bullshit too. I got brainwashed too. You know, I was brainwashed by that shit, bought into all of it just like everybody else. Nothing special about me. The only thing different is that the universe put me in some situations where I had no choice but to pop my eyes open. The universe shook me awake, you know? Universe slapped me awake. That's the only thing different about me and most other people, you know? I was right there in it too. I bought into all that bullshit and got brainwashed by the hype too. Universe slapped my ass awake though. Slapped my ass awake. I don't know. Well, of course, I think some people, I've seen some people that don't really take me seriously when I tell them that I lived through a lot of like life and death situations, but I can think back to when I was at rock bottom, and over half of the people who were a part of my life then are dead now because they didn't make it out. They killed them. They're dead now. They're either dead or in prison. Most of them are dead. Most of them are, including my own father, including my own biological father. He didn't even make it out. Killed him too. So I've seen the universe attempt to slap other people awake too, you know, but I don't know. I was to the point where I was like, man, fuck it. I'll do anything. If you tell me that this will work, I'll try it. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with all that. Just figured I'd hop on here and blab, and hopefully somebody will hear something I have to say and it'll help them. Anyway. Oh, you've been following me since the main days, Betty? Right on. Yep. Been a fun old journey, man. Been crazy. Been a crazy journey. Crazy journey. Been nuts, man. I wouldn't take it back, though. I wouldn't go back and change nothing about my journey. Nothing, not a thing. Not a thing. I see. That's the coolest part, man, when you can get to the point to where you can look back and like really fully understand why everything happened the way that it did, you know? Be able to develop that trust-based relationship with the universe so that you can look back and say, I see why that had to happen. I'm good with that. I wouldn't change anything, you know? Another thing too, kind of like relating to what I was saying a minute ago, is after a while, and this is I know some of y'all are gonna see what I'm talking about one of these days. Sometimes you'll look back on the crazy shit and have this strange feeling of nostalgia. You know, you'll look back on it with fond nostalgia. Like, man, those were the good old days, you know? The good old days. I look back on it like that, man. I look back on some of the hardest times in my life that were absolutely miserable, that sucked. And I look back on them with very fond nostalgia. Man, those were the good old days. Kind of like at the gym, you know? Same thing at the gym. I remember back when I was a fat guy that couldn't even do 5 push-ups. Those are the good old days, you know? Same thing. Same thing. No, I wouldn't change a damn thing. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change a damn thing. Any of you that would? Any of you that would? You might end up back in the next lifetime trying it all over again. I wouldn't. I would not. Because eventually it gets to a point to where when you're able to pop back and look and see from the universe perspective that there actually is a reason. Man, some people just cannot wrap their minds around the fact that everything really does happen for a reason. Everything. When I say everything, I mean every fucking thing happens for a reason, a very specific reason that we, with our teeny weeny little ego brains that think they know everything, just cannot begin to wrap their mind around the first sentence that would describe why the universe would do that. That's our little teeny human brains, man. Little teeny human brains. I fully trust that everything does happen for a reason. Even the shit that sucks. Even the shit that sucks. Even the things that hurt me. You know, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. Because if it wasn't supposed to happen, the universe wouldn't have had it happen. Period. And one of these days, whether it's in this lifetime or whether it's when I leave this human body and I'm on the other side looking at my life, at some point, it'll make sense. At some point. At some point. I would much rather that be while I'm still here. I would much rather be able to, in this life, be able to look back and say, I like that. I like that. I'm cool with that. Even the bad shit, even the horrible shit, you know, I'm cool with that. I don't know about any of y'all. I ain't coming back to this motherfucker. No, I'm not coming back to this motherfucker. I was just a volunteer to begin with, you know, just a damn volunteer to begin with. That's probably one of the biggest differences between volunteers and long-term karmic humans. Is that volunteers didn't come here to play the game. Long-term humans came here to actually play the game, you know? And yeah, I didn't come here to actually play the game. You know, it's kind of like what's a good example? Like if you got a bunch of friends who say, hey, check it out. Here's this new video game. You got to go through all these levels and you got to do all this stuff. And they're actually playing the game. They're actually playing it to get into it, you know? And then there's people like me and some of you who need to help. Oh man, my buddy's over playing this fucking game. He needs some help. All right, well, let's go help him out. You know, we got to go play a certain part and we got to go make, you know, but I'm not actually playing the game to play the game. I'm here for a totally different reason. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? That makes sense. And that neither one's better than the other. You know, some people get on this trip like, you know, there's better than. There's no better than. One's not good and one's not bad. It's just people are here for different reasons. You know, people are here. There's a big old bunch of beings on this planet who are here because they like this game and they're playing the game to actually get into it and play the actual game. And then those are the people who end up on the karmic wheel, you know, because oh man, I didn't quite do it the way that I wanted to. Damn. All right, let me go try it again. Only this time I'm going to be a Chinese lady and gonna grow up with this type of family and I'm gonna be subjected to these kinds of experiences. Let's see. How about that? You know, and you go experience that and play that game, come back. Damn, man. Yeah, but I could have done this better. All right. This time I'm gonna be and you know, because they're actually playing the game, the actual game. And there's some of us And you know who you are. If you're not here actually playing the human game, you know who you are. You know damn good and well who you are. We didn't come here for that. We didn't come here to get sucked in and drawn into the human games. You know, matter of fact, most of us don't even fit into the human games, no matter how hard we try, because that's not the reason we came here. Our higher self wasn't interested in playing this game. You know, and all the little things that humans do with, you know, the families and all this stuff, and just anything that's human. Anything that's human. Our higher selves didn't come here to experience that. We came here to help our friends. We came here to help Gaia transition and raise frequencies. We came here to help a team of our buddies from the other side. You know what I'm saying? Not to actually get into it and play the character like everybody else is doing, you know? That right there, when I learned that, everything made so much fucking sense. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. That resonates and hits deep, real deep. So as soon as I awakened, you know, and started remembering that I'm a volunteer who didn't come here to actually play the game, that's when my head started leveling out. And this game became much, much easier to exist in. Much, much easier. You know, I was going fucking nuts for my entire childhood. You know, the first decade of my adult life, I was fucking going batshit crazy insane because this game didn't make any fucking sense to me. Didn't make any sense to me. And then when I awakened to the fact that it doesn't make sense to me because I didn't come here to play it, then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Right on, man. Right on. Okay. I don't know where I was going with that either. I'm just rambling, y'all. Just play along. Anywho, probably about time for me to hop on out of here, though. Let's see, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. Got a light day today. And I don't know, she might say, oh, I got another reading I didn't print out. You know, but for the most part, I got a real light day. I want to get a bunch done on my main channel. Let's see, where am I at? Let me see here. I only did one yesterday, didn't I? I did Leo yesterday. Okay, so I got Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. I got 7 more. Let's see how many I can get done today. Who knows? Who knows, man? Oh, I got to do the weekly forecast, don't I? I don't know if I'm going to do that today or tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Thank you once again for tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. Hopefully, if as long as one person heard me say something that makes their day better, my job is complete. I wish y'all love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Y'all have a good day.